Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have a special guest, Cathy, which is the founder of Cathy Sprouters and Cathy Laughter Club. Also, Cathy's Crowley Composter. So Cathy, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make the first million?
Okay. So kind of simple, but not easy, right? We got to just do the work. I would say first is it's important. First one is get clear on your idea. What is your idea? Maybe do a market survey to see if people want what you have. Next is to write a business plan so that you can, again, be more clear on your vision and the steps that you need to take. You can do the financial forecasting, which is a challenge when you haven't started your business yet, right? It's just a guess. And exposure. Once you have your idea, you have your business plan, exposure is important. So people know that you're there. You might have a great idea,
love that
but
one.
if nobody knows you're there, then nobody's calling you. That's bad for business. Next is, or maybe not in this order, but to have a coach or a mentor, somebody who's been there before you, who can help guide the way and help you avoid the pitfalls so you can go faster. And the final one, it kind of goes, many of these go together, but networking. Just be out there talking to people, not necessarily networking to sell to the people in the room, but to the people that they know, to their network.
Wow, that's an amazing tip. Thank you so much, Cathy. And let's talk about, because you are a serial entrepreneur. I see not one company, not 2, 3 companies. When I opened my first company, and I was opening the second one, the first one already took a lot of effort, energy, and build the brand and so on, and you have more than one. So tell us, number one, why you decide to become an entrepreneur in the first place. Are you a family entrepreneur? Do you read any book? What's the story? Why do you decide that was a good idea to do something crazy and start your own business?
Right. Yes. It's not for everybody. I got to say that. You have to have a lot of motivation. And yes, it's totally not for everybody. Everybody wants to, but
sounds good, but it's not for everybody, right?
It sounds so good. I get to be my own boss. Yes, but you still need to do the work. I'm going to take the day today. Okay. Yes. Okay.
I can,
no money's coming.
Holiday and have a free time. Yeah. But if you don't do the work before, you're never gonna see it.
Yeah. So I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I had an idea. I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto, Canada's largest city. And in 2002, our landfill closed. And although we're second largest country in the world, we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. And we started to export our garbage to the United States. Can you imagine?
Wow. How does it possible?
How is it possible? It's business. So we sent our trash to them, and we paid money for the privilege.
Wow.
That's almost 1,000 trucks a week, Harry. Can you imagine?
Wow.
And I had a solution. So I think an entrepreneur is somebody who has a solution for a problem, and you just set forth. That's what I did. And I'm so happy to talk about how people can avoid the pitfalls by having a little bit of preparation, because I didn't have that, but I'm still here 22 years in.
Yeah.
Still standing.
But one thing, sorry to interrupt you. One thing is, okay, you saw the problem, yeah, and you have the idea how to solve it. But one thing is that a lot of people see problems and they have an idea how to solve it. Actually decided I'm gonna build the business out of this and I'm going all in 100%. What was the final push? How were so confident that it was a market, or somebody told you, Cathy, go for it, you're gonna be fine?
I know it was
a mentor, a coach. What happened? You just
it was happenstance. It was happenstance, Harry.
Like by
So
accident, like same like me, same by
by
me.
accident, for sure, by accident. I was working as a social worker, and I got injured at work. I came home from work. There was an ad in the paper. It said, "Are you a woman? Do you have a business idea?" It was a 6-month course to write a business plan.
Wow.
Wow, I was already stressed at work. I wasn't very effective. I was injured. I said, "Oh my gosh, I got to do something." And that ad, I said, "Wow." I turned to my husband. I said, "I'm quitting my job. I'm taking this course. I'm
Oh
starting
my
a worm
God.
business."
Wow. That,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, that's a great story. Let me tell you something. We're interviewing this podcast around now 500 plus multimillionaires, and a lot of people have revealed to me the same way that we most of us we start the business by accident. Okay, we saw a problem, we try a solution, we try to sell it, somebody bought it, that's it, we are in business. And now we need to learn a lot of things like tax, accounts, the law, a lot of new things that
Insurance,
I didn't even
marketing.
know that exist. I didn't know
Right.
these things existed when I started, right? So now let's face it. I got a degree in chemical engineering. So when I studied in Cuba, Havana, so I have a deep understanding how lucrative could be to sort out the waste, and it's actually something that can be very profitable. The challenge is in the division of the waste, as far as I know. But if this is something that you can break through that path, the biocomposer is they can use for the plants as fertilizer. The plastic nowadays, you can do a lot of products with recycling plastic and everything. The cardboard also. So, tell us a little bit more, what was the solution that you thought? Because there is one thing, the solution that you thought, I'm sure that from the solution that you thought and the solution that you actually apply, it was a long way, because the markets always tell us what they want, yeah? So, but still, how was that journey from the solution that you thought to the final product? And what you did different that people bought into it. I say, okay, I'm gonna hide this company. I think they're doing something different that I can save some money, right? So
Yes.
tell us.
So I started my business as a waste management tool
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to stop all this garbage shipping out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I have a psych degree, so I'm fascinated by people and why they do what they do. And I didn't realize that people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. And they didn't want what I had. They didn't want so this is indoor composting, worms in the house.
But why they don't want it? Because it's a lot of value there. You can use it for fertilizer, you can use it for a lot of things. Why do you
Yes,
want it?
they didn't want the worms. They wanted the final product. They wanted the
I get it.
black
I get it.
gold.
I
They
get
didn't
it.
want to do the process.
I get it. I get it.
And with a psych degree, so that was fascinating. I talk about exposure. I would have a table wherever I could. I was talking to everybody. Oh, you need to have this. And I have lots of energy, and I knew this was a solution. You need this, but you don't want it. Uh-oh, problem. That's not good business. And I'm animated, I'm high energy, so it was probably fun to watch me. But then they're like, no, I'm definitely not having worms. And what happened, I think, is if somebody was traumatized as a child after a rainy day or a fishing incident or a sibling chased them with a worm,
Absolutely.
if something happened with a worm when they were a child, they're not looking to that as a solution as an adult. So that was first problem. They need what I have, but they don't want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do the process. They don't want worms in the house, but they would love to have the black gold, the fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
And so early on, I realized, oh, okay, people don't want what can I do? This is important. And so I started to do school workshops. I started to become a speaker,
To
to
educate.
talk about it, to
Absolutely.
create it. Yes. And so over 75,000 students have seen my presentation so far.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes, so
Wow.
good. And Harry, I can say we make a difference every day. We meet people, we smile at somebody, we say hello, we help them with the door, whatever. Every day we make or we yell at somebody. We make an impact every day. We don't always have the privilege of knowing. I have the privilege of knowing that I've made an impact because I still am exhibiting. And I've had students come up to me who said, wow, Cathy, you were in my grade 3 class. And because we had worms in the classroom, I went to university and now I'm an environmental lawyer.
Wow.
More than once. More than once.
Wow.
Wow. So good.
Very good, Cathy, because sometimes this is, we have to, what we call it, educate the need, right? Because sometimes they don't want it because they don't know that they need it in that form, right?
They don't understand.
They don't understand it. So a big part of business, yeah, is become that speaker, become that communicator that you can educate the need, what we call it. So you talk about the solution. So people start to reflect like, wow, it makes sense what she's saying. I don't like worms, but what she's saying makes sense. And little by little, the audience start to, what we call it, warm up into the idea, right? So tell us, talking about that, yeah, I have trained, I had trained over 10,000 people on how to overcome the fear of public speaking in conference all over the world. And I think we reached over 1 million online when the COVID.
Wow.
So tell us how you overcome the fear of public speaking, because it's the biggest fear of that the human being have in the world. How you overcome the fear?
Harry, somehow I didn't have that fear.
Wow, that's amazing. Welcome to the club.
Somehow I didn't have that.
Yeah, somehow. Because the first time that I speak in front of 2,000 people, oh my God, when these lights went to my face, I was shaking and I knew they were going to pass the microphone. And before that, I had done tons of conference with 100 people, with 200, with 300. But the first time that they put me was in the National Civic Congress in 2016 here in London. And a lot of people spoke at that event, even Tony Robbins. And but when I went to that stage and and that light, and I couldn't see anybody, and it was like 2,000 people, and the screens are so big, and I saw myself so huge. And they're gonna give me a microphone. I was like shaking, it was like 2 seconds. But so you didn't have that fear, right? Why do you think that that came from? How where do you find the power? Were you very passionate about the product?
Very passionate about the solution. That's it. I felt so strong about what I was offering that it was no problem for me to stand up there. And I mean, full disclosure, I'm trained in improv.
Wow, very good.
Right, I took an improv training, so when people
wow.
That's so helpful for public speaker.
Yeah,
improv is a really great training.
Absolutely.
Because it's not planning.
Exactly.
You're just you're playing with the other people.
They can ask you any question. You have to be able to. Yeah, in our workshop, speakers at least we do a lot of exercise of in front because of that reason.
Yeah, it just helps. For me, it helps as a speaker get out of my head. If I'm like, oh, you freeze, you're like, oh no, I don't know, where was I? I don't know what I was saying. You can just go, okay, yes, and let me say the next thing.
let me give you my expert opinion. Yeah, I'll tell you, this is my theory why you were not scared about talk about the product, right? I think that in the workshops that I do, right, I raise, sometimes we have 200, 300 people in the room, 500 there. So I ask this question, say, raise your hand who's scared of speaking in public, yeah? And around 80% raise their hand. The other 20 doesn't want to raise it because they're even so scared to raise it. The reason for that is very simple. You know, when we are kids, our parents are telling us all the time, don't talk to strangers. And stranger is bad. So this goes deep in our unconscious mind, so deep and at so early age that somehow when going out there and speaking with strangers is scary. So imagine when you are in business, this is what you have to do all day, speak with strangers. So, so of course, you know, to train an entrepreneur, as you know, to people that want to open the business, people. So that's the first barrier. However, I do this exercise. I say, okay, fine. From the 80% that raise their hand, okay, 10 people come to the stage. So then I'll bring 10 people that never spoke in public. They're all terrified. They're all shaking. So then I take the microphone and I tell the first person, said, okay, can you tell the audience, in mind, 300 people, 500 people, can you tell the audience the name of your dad? They say, oh, the name of my dad is Pedro. Oh, okay. Can you tell the name of your son? Yeah, the name of my son is Juan. Oh, really? Okay, can you tell how old is your dad? Oh, my dad is 85. And your mom? And then I go like that. And then all of a sudden, everybody that was totally scared, they're all speaking in front of 300 people. Very confident.
So good.
So the reason for that is that they are not scared because they are certain 100% that they know the name of the dad and the name of the mom, and no one in the audience can challenge that. And that's why they are speaking without fear, because they know that there is no one in that audience that can tell them, no, the name of your son is no whatever, right? So my theory is that you were not afraid about to speak in public because you knew your product so well that you were certain that no one can challenge what you were saying. And that's my theory, why you were not scared of speak about the product in public.
That's so fast. I never thought about that. We're talked about stranger danger. That's interesting. And then as entrepreneurs, yeah, all you're doing is talking to stranger people you don't know.
I
Wow.
train thousands and thousands of them. So if I tell you a story, we can be here until tomorrow. But
That's amazing.
so that's the thing. So at the end of the day, because you're certain that no one can challenge anything that you're saying about that product, that's why you went out and you talked to everybody and you don't have 1 millimeter of being scared, because you knew that about that topic that you were talking, no one can tell you otherwise. You knew your product, this I can tell you, from A to Z. You knew everything about it. And
Yes.
that's why you're not scared, because you don't care what anybody will ask you. You're certain that you can respond.
Yes.
For business, I think that so part of the thing is like that. Know your product very well. If you knew your product very well, or you know your topic, the challenge that we have with public speaking is that people want to go to stage to talk about a topic that they don't know deep, or they haven't done it, right? And no wonder what they're scared. You need to talk about the topic that you knew, that you certain that you know what you're talking about. That's
And I think passion plays a piece
absolutely
there, Harry, because people
absolutely.
will, sometimes people will chase the money and they start a business in something that they don't care about,
100%.
because, someone said you can make lots of money in that business. So they start that business, whatever it is, and they don't feel anything for that business. So to go and talk about it is challenging because they don't have that fire, the passion. I think that's a big part of the driver
Been
for.
there, 100% agree with you. Been there, done it. My first business was in property, yeah, and I started to do this business clearly for the money. Yeah? A friend of mine told me, Harry, if you do this property thing, you're gonna make a lot of money. I said, I'm in, right? So we managed to sell 5 million with that company, but guess what? My passion is what we're doing now: train people how to speak in public, help people to grow the business. This is my passion. Finally, I do like property a little bit. I like property, it's I like some elements of that, yeah. But and I have a parallel, you know, sometimes we invest in property, we look at property, what to do, this and that. But definitely, if you do it for the money, it doesn't matter how far you're gonna be. Eventually, that company that passion that you're talking about will disappear. Will
Yes, the
that's
fire
the
will
truth.
go out.
That's the truth. I'm telling you from my own experience, not from the book. I done business that I'm very passionate about it. Like, you know, like helping people how to grow the business and things like that. I don't know the business that is for the money, and yeah, I do it for a while, and I get bored very easy. You know, so
That's
you lose that passion. So then, now we get into a formula, right? That passion and knowledge about the product is something that is key for entrepreneurs, for our listeners to succeed. Yeah. Now, so you did talk with a lot of people about the product, yeah, and eventually people. So how do you feel when the first person say, "I buy it"? Who was that? You always remember the first client, right?
Yes. Oh gosh. Well, I did at the beginning. I did a lot of research on, because I have a psych degree. I'm curious on what people were throwing away. So grocery store. I did a grocery store. I collected you go into the store and everything looks beautiful, all the produce, because they have somebody taking the bruised apples and the bananas that are all brown. They take them away. So I wanted that. So I went every day for a month to one little small grocery store, not a big super center, just one little grocery store, and collected, what was it, 3,000 pounds of food
Wow.
in 1 month. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So I was like, oh my gosh, what are the other stores doing? It blew my mind. Like, this is good
How much
food.
waste?
So much waste. Like what a
Crazy.
business model. The
Crazy.
grocery store is paying for that to arrive, and then they pay to get rid of it. My goodness. But then there was Cathy. I came in, and at least they didn't pay to get rid of it. They just gave it to me. There was no money exchanged there. For me, it was just research. And then I did a coffee shop. I did the coffee grounds from the slowest shop in town, because the other ones wouldn't play.
Lot of
And
products, lot of products can be developed with that also. I'm aware.
right, and
But the
yeah,
coffee
so
waste, yeah.
the coffee. So
Oh,
I collected 1,000 pounds from one coffee shop in a month. Again, I went every day, collected the coffee grounds. I had a big mountain of coffee grounds in my backyard. And I'm high energy. So I was separating the coffee grounds and the filter, and someone said to me, you know your coffee ground project? And I said, yes. And they said, do you wear gloves when you're handling the coffee grounds? I said, no, it's coffee grounds. And they said, have you heard of the nicotine patch? And I was like, oh my gosh, right? Caffeine careening through my veins. No wonder I was getting so much done. Ooh, and I wasn't sleeping. I was like more high. And I was like, oh, my poor husband that summer.
You were all hyperactive, yeah.
And I realized, wow, like as an entrepreneur, we don't have the benefit. We don't have the plan unless we pay
We're doing
for
it by
extra.
accident. We just don't know everything.
We
We are
don't know
trying to do
yet,
something. Yeah,
right? And I thought I was doing a good job. But what I realized during that time was that gardeners wanted what I had. They wanted the coffee grounds
absolutely.
without doing anything. No composting required, nothing. They wanted the coffee grounds because they're acidic. So for the acidic loving plants like blueberries, roses, azalea,
They're brilliant.
they prefer acidic soil. So I was like, wow, like that could have been a business, just getting the coffee grounds
Yeah,
and selling the coffee
absolutely.
grounds.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've had so much fun just discovering
That's
through
amazing.
research, and then that connects me to another one that I did eggshells. I collected eggshells, which was a horrible project. Right from a breakfast restaurant. So I need eggshells for my worm business. So these were all materials I needed for my worms. But the eggshells, oh my gosh, because they still had the goo in them. It was so smelly, and I probably could have got E. coli. I don't know.
And look, let's talk about something more important, which is what we call it social responsibility, right? because I can tell for the like of your personality, right? That I think not too many people in this planet that we live in now, which it needs a lot of education, want to get their hands dirty, want to do the smelly job, but this is what is required to save the planet. Not only
Yes.
the business, is another market are rewarding for it. I buy some companies in the social responsibility space, right? And it's something that people think, no, because I'm recycling plastic, I'm social responsible. It's bigger than that. It's a 360 degree. You have to make sure that you contribute to charity, empower your local community, employ women, pay women same like men, try to have a diverse staff. A lot of things go into the social responsibility equation. But now, let me tell you something: the consumer are getting very savvy now, especially the young generation. They are buying and they want to know what are they buying, from where they're buying, how sustainable is that. So do you when you started this business, do you knew that the biggest impact in the social responsibility space what you were doing will have?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Do you knew when you start this business that the positive impact in terms of social responsibility values that your business had, or you discovered this after?
Oh, I was totally
You knew
aware.
from the beginning.
Oh, I was aware just
Very
because of
good.
the magnitude of the trucks going and the organic matter, and it's a resource. If we call it garbage, it's garbage, right? It's
Absolutely.
all words. And so
Absolutely.
my goal is to change like food waste into a resource, because it's food for something else. And then the worms are the original alchemists, since you have a science background.
Yeah.
Right? They're the original alchemists. They turn garbage into black gold. Wow, and right in your house. So one of the challenges with my business, Harry, is I want everyone to get worms. People will ask me, can this be scaled up? Everything can. Because we're dealing with a live creature and a whole ecosystem. It's more challenging to scale it up because we need to keep the factors the same. We need to monitor the temperature, the moisture,
absolutely,
all of those, right? And we're dependent on the individual to do the right thing. And the individual doesn't always care or know what to do.
Yeah. Keep the consistency is a challenge. A lot with education, a lot with processes, with operation, with SOP. But at the end of the day, the impact that they have is, if we change the narrative. I mean, if we're gonna call it garbage, we call it garbage. But if we change the narrative, and like you just described, these worms are turning garbage into gold. Now worms are not so bad, no? You know what I mean? So it's all about, what we communicate and the negative impact. And also the people that don't want the worms or the whatever is the people maybe from our generation. We are from the waste generation. Yeah. We are from the generation of overproducing, wasting, plastic bags. This is our generation, which is create a massive negative impact in the planet that we live today. However, the new generation that is coming now, they are completely different. They think different, they buy different, and maybe the seed that you plant in that business, would be an inspiration for more. Right now, I'm here in Spain. I'm actually very happy. I see here, you go to the bin, and then you have a plastic for bottles and so on. You have cardboard. You have another one for food waste. You have another one for glass. Yeah, so, and Germany, I've been in Germany also. They are very good from point one, right?
Canada has too much space.
London, where I live, is kind of so. Yeah, they're trying to do it, but it's a little bit challenge there. But I think that little by little we are getting there, right? So, what's your message for the young generations that maybe can have a negative meaning about garbage because maybe what they hear from the parents, or don't want to have their hands dirty, or do you think it smell, or whatever? What message do you have for this new generation that probably doing the right thing with that materials? We can actually heal our planet, right?
We can heal our planet, absolutely. We just need to look at nature and see, wow, look at what nature is doing. Like, we know if a house, say there's a house fire and the house burns to the ground, within 3 weeks, the bushes are starting to grow and the weeds, and within 2-3 months, you can't even tell that a house was there before. It's amazing. It's a couple-fold, my response to your question. The younger generation are absolutely ready for change. They're ready to stop consuming and stop buying and have smaller houses and all the things. However, because we're such germaphobes,
they're becoming vegan now, some of them, to avoid, which is something that helps a lot.
Right? All these things. Now I go into a lot of schools. I'm meeting kindergarten children that don't want to set up the worm bedding because they don't want to get their hands dirty. I'm like, in kindergarten, like, where did they learn that? That comes from their parents. Like,
from the social media. Who knows what they're looking at because when you click the thing, they show you the information. Yeah, could be. I mean, could be the parents are our generation, which is the waste generation that is no conscious, and maybe, but also the information. So yeah, what can we do now? I congratulate you and applaud you to go to the schools and talk. Yeah, and so these kids need to know that it's okay to have their hands dirty.
It's okay. That's right.
It's okay to have their
We're going to wash them. So another piece is the antibacterial stuff, the liquid stuff that you put.
Yeah.
This is, some children think that this is washing their hands. It is not.
Yeah,
if you eat your sandwich after you have that stuff, your sandwich tastes like that.
Alcohol, yeah. So in the end, and also if I tell you a story how many times I get my hands dirty painting the houses from my first business because we didn't have money to pay the people, so we had to do it ourselves. Everything. So
right, yeah.
So a lot of speaking, a lot of education. It's okay to have your hands dirty. It's okay to deal with something smelling if the cause is okay, and and it's gonna have a positive impact in the environment, in the people. Yeah. So yeah, we need more people like you. Actually, loads of people like you. Yeah. Talking with the children and open. I think that as an entrepreneur, this is our legacy. When in the end of the day, you say, well, how much money it really needs? We don't need that much money like we think we need when we start but we can leave a legacy. We can educate the new generations. We can leave something behind that, let me tell you, you can get paid with something better than money. It's a different currency.
It is. Well, I've diverted several tons from landfill.
Yeah. People, the gratitude, the love, the smile on the face, is amazing. Yeah, it's better than money, that currency. A little bit addictive though. Especially when we go to the big audiences and everybody clapping. It's amazing. And you see that, the eyes of the people, they're bright, they really think, wow, if I do this, I can grow my business, everything, that excited. And you know that you make difference in people. time to time, this is a real story, yeah. I always dress in purple, and time to time in London you have to take the metro, yeah, because it's very crowded. So time to time I take the metro in London, and sometimes people recognize me. They're like, Harry, this is you. This is you. Man, I remember you. I saw you in that event. It was like 2,000 people there. I saw you, and you say this, and look, this is my business, this is my family. Look, I did what you say, man. You don't remember? I say, how, when? This year, man, you spoke, I listened, I was a second person. And then, in the end of the day, you go home and you say, wow, amazing that something that I say make a huge difference in someone's life. It was in the audience sitting somewhere, and now, they have the business, they have the family, they have this, they have that. And it's an amazing experience. Like I'm sharing with you, it's a currency better than money.
It's so beautiful. It
gives you fulfillment. Money is not going to give you fulfillment,
fulfilling.
But that give you a level of fulfillment that is going to bring you more health. It's going to bring you more happiness. It's going to bring you a lot of good things that money cannot give you. I don't want to say that money is not important, because this is not true. It's very important. Otherwise, you cannot do your projects. You need to pay people to do the stuff. But it's not everything. We need to see the whole thing more holistic, 360 degrees, and we're going to have a better view. And I think Cathy is saying a lot of people that start the business because they want to make money, only that, yeah. The consumer can smell it, everybody can, and eventually, like I said, the passion will. Now, let's talk about the Laughing Club, which is an idea, and I love it. Tell me, and you laugh a lot, yeah, so I can tell. So tell us about the Laughing Club. What is it?
So 2012, one more person said, ew, worms in the house. And I listened. They say as an entrepreneur, you need to pay attention to what your clients want.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't. I was like, no, you don't want worms in the house. You need this. It's important. And so I would move to the next person and move. Right. So 2012, 10 years into my worm mission, one more person. And I was like, oh, I heard it. I felt it. I questioned everything, Harry. I said, maybe I should just get a job. Oh, who would help me?
Oh my God.
No. This has to work.
You can't. I think after 10 years in business,
no, you're broken. Entrepreneurs are not good employees.
No, we are unemployable. We know too much.
Right? They don't want us. They don't want us. We're too resistant. Anyway, so I questioned everything. And the very next day I was introduced to laughter yoga. My life, Harry, is like a magic carpet ride. I pay attention. And that's what I would say to people listening. Pay attention to what gets put in your way, a book that shows itself, or a song that you hear, that you keep on hearing, or just a message that keeps on coming. Laughter yoga. So I said, wow, what's that? The very place that I wrote my business plan. I went for a meeting and the speaker did a 5-minute introduction to laughter yoga. And I said, wow, what is laughter yoga? I don't know. I don't even do yoga. I know yoga's fine. This is laughing as an exercise. So that same week, 2012, I was at a networking event, hundreds of people. The very first woman I met was a laughter yoga teacher. I said, what? I said to her, laughter yoga is mainstream.
Call from the universe, yeah.
And she said, no, it isn't. So we trooped around. Everybody we met, I said, have you heard of laughter yoga? Have you? Nobody had. So I said, wow, okay. And her club happened to be 5-minute walk from, this was Toronto, pretty large city, 5-minute walk from where my mother-in-law lived. Wow. Come on. And I love my mother-in-law. She passed, but she would do anything I asked. She said, whenever Cathy asks me to do something, I say yes, because it's always an adventure. So I said, hey, I called her up. I said, hey, Mary, do you want to go to laughter yoga? She said, what's that? And I said, I don't know, but I don't want to go alone. So we went. Laughter yoga is not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as an exercise. It's not jokes or comedy. It's laughing.
It's amazing.
It's laughing.
Amazing. It's right? Unbelievable.
So deep diaphragmatic breathing, the practice of the laughter. And so I've been laughing since 2012, really, really laughing since 2020.
Very, very good.
And Yeah, we have a global mental health tsunami since 2020. I mean, it was here before. It's
Absolutely.
just bigger now. It's just
Absolutely.
bigger.
Scale huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of impact is still in the life of people. Now, Cathy, let's go dig in this, because like I said, we interview a lot of entrepreneurs, and this is what happened. Yeah. What happened is that when we started our business, the people, because we don't know, we are learning, it's difficult to find the first client. It's difficult to find your investor. People don't believe in you. People say, I want work. People want to, and you're fighting and fighting and fighting. Somehow, all this negative baggage is start to accumulate in your brain, right?
Yeah.
And after 10 years, you are on the point like, should I quit? You start to be angry, you start to be frustrated, you start to be right. And we find this a big problem in entrepreneurs, especially they've been working 20 years, 30 years in a business, right? And they haven't managed to understand that they have to work on themselves, right? And you see people working for 10, 15 years, and Monday to Friday, they don't have time to speak with the children, they don't have time to speak with the wife. They're trying to they have that ego, they're going to make this business work. They accumulate all this negative baggage for years, and they don't want to hear anything about it, how they can canalize, how they can let go all this negative baggage, so you can have a space for happiness, space for, I learned also this the hard way. This is what I'm sharing with you, is actually my own experience. At the beginning, when I started my business, I mean, I was making money, but I was exhausted, I was angry, I was frustrated, I was not sleeping because I had to do everything. So all these mental things, until I don't start to work on myself, I started to walk, for example, and walks in London in Hyde Park, or walk everywhere. I can walk a lot. Yeah, that allows me to canalize that negative baggage and to open to new ideas. And now, even when we travel now, is amazing, right? So maybe the worst day of your life was the best day of your life. Maybe this yoga love appeared in your life in a moment that you needed something that is essential for entrepreneurs, and not so many people do it because we don't know. I discovered by accident. I discovered like, wow, at the beginning, I was thinking, how come I'm gonna walk, or how come I'm gonna do exercise? I need this time to do my business, and I need to do that. And without realizing that you're trying to work so much that you are busy, but you're not doing things effective. It's better to switch off, have a night, relax, have a thing. Then you come in next day, or in 3-4 hours after do yoga laughing, or after a walk. Yeah. So I'm a big advocate of that. I'm a big advocate of entrepreneurs to actually to work on themselves, to do any type of vehicle, could be laughing yoga, which I experienced, is amazing. Yeah, I got a couple of friends in London that do it. And it's brilliant. Yeah. And definitely you can, something for sure, you can release all this negative baggage after a therapy or that, or if work. For example, for Lily, my girlfriend, swimming is what was very good for her. She goes to swim for 1 hour, 2 hours, and so. But so Cathy, like you've been there, same like I am. Why do you think that is, in your opinion, how important do you think that is for entrepreneurs to have this switching mode, and find a vehicle like laughing yoga or anything to start to work on themselves to release this negative baggage? Because people that haven't experienced that, like you and I, they cannot talk about. We're talking about this because we have experience, and that makes a huge difference. Exactly like you say, you've been laughing for 2020. You know what I mean? You change completely since you start to do this. You have your same business or whatever, but you as a person change the dynamic. Like now you're more happy, you have more more clarity, you can operate your business better, you are more healthy, you know, because you know this negative emotion, negative pain, after can go to physical emotion, physical pain. People can end up with cancer, can end up with a lot of things. This is not like a joke, like a theory. Or all this negative baggage, you know, there is an emotional pain that we have stored somehow for so many years. It turns into a physical pain and can give people, entrepreneurs, you know, can give a heart attack, can have experienced cancer, can experience any type of illness. We want all the entrepreneurs to be happy. We know that they have exactly like we described today. You know, we know that we are rare species. Sounds too good to be true, but it's not for everybody, right? We want the entrepreneurs to be happy. We want them to be successful. We want them to be healthy. We want them to be wealthy, right? So if somebody's listening to this and you know they are aware that those tools are available and they are aware that things that they have to work on, because I didn't even knew that I had to work on this until, because you realize that until you are to the point that say I'm quitting, I'm finding a job. And you know, there are several times, you know, in your life as an entrepreneur, you feel like, oh my God, this is too much. I'll find a job and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to come back and relax and everything. So what message do you have for entrepreneurs struggling out there? Because
so we need to manage our stress.
they're busy and they don't want to, because they're so busy, they don't even have time to listen what you have to say.
Yeah, so we have two nervous systems in our body, sympathetic and parasympathetic. We're not in both at the same time. We're living in a perpetual state of stress right now. So we're secreting all those stress chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine. We're not breathing properly. So we can't even come up with solution because our brain requires 25%
Absolutely.
more oxygen than our body as an operating principle. So when we laugh, I'll just use laughter, but it could be walking, it could be swimming, meditation, whatever somebody needs to do, just do something. Because when we're stressed, we're tight, we're trying, you know, if we have a block, even if we have a deadline, we need to leave our house, leave the workspace and go for a walk around the block, go get some fresh air, do something to change where you are, and then you come back fresh. So that's what laughter does. It oxygenates our beautiful body. We're secreting all the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And we feel good. So when we feel good, we do good. And otherwise we get burned out, we can't sleep, we're sick. And if we don't have our health, we have nothing. We have nothing with it. As soon as we get a diagnosis of something, it doesn't matter about our job. It doesn't matter if we can pay the mortgage. All those things disappear. Right? Take my husband, take my house, take my car, take my kitty cat. If I have my health, I still can move forward. Take my health and all those other things go away.
100%. I agree. 100%. Like people, all the millionaires that we know, you know, they prefer to change all the money they have for one more day of life, you know.
Right? Yes, you can't eat the money.
Yeah, you know. So in the end of so that's the thing. Yeah, we have to also work with, especially with entrepreneurs, to make them more aware about that. It will reflect your state of mind. Your state of mind will your state of mind will reflect the state that you health of your business, basically. That's how it works. Make sense? Okay, Cathy.
It does.
So now, if people, our listeners, are hearing this broadcast today and they want to know more about the work you do regarding the Laughing Club, which I love the title, yeah. And when I do my workshops, I do a lot of jokes, yeah, and I do it on purpose to change the state of the audience. So they laugh,
Yeah.
because laughing, they pay more attention. So it's done actually on purpose to keep the audience engaged and time to time to do jokes, because change the state, bring them back to pay attention what you're saying, right?
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, so if somebody, our audience, entrepreneur, they're listening, and they want to know more about the job you do, how can they find you? How the process works? Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, I would love to invite your listeners to my free online laughter club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, free. It's Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So wherever you are in the world, it's 30 minutes of super fun self-care. I incorporate tapping,
Wow.
brain gym, qigong. I just want people to get out of stress and into joy. It's our birthright.
Amazing.
It's where we're meant to live there, but we don't know that. We've forgotten. So this is a way for us to, so that's cathysclub.com, Cathy with a C. If they want to know more about the worms and composting, my website is cathyscomposters.com. And my websites are all connected, so you can get from one to the next.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Cathy. Thank you so much for the broadcast. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, you do have a lot of good energy. You can tell, you're smiling a lot. This yoga is definitely working. Yeah.
Join me anytime, Harry. You're always welcome.
Oh, we love to. Lily's also, Lily, my partner also. She likes to laugh a lot, yeah. But it's good. It's good. You feel good, and
it's great for couples.
Absolutely.
My husband is a laughter leader too. I'm a teacher.
Wow.
I taught him, so we do the laughter club together.
That's amazing. That's brilliant. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Keep doing the good work. Yeah. And we're very happy that you've been part of the podcast, and for all of you listening the broadcast. See you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneurs like Cathy break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.